Howdy, folks. My name is Paul Sherlin, and with me here is Mason, and we're going to talk a little bit about relationship. Um, I had a rocky relationship with Mason for the first years of our journey together. He bucked me off. I'd get more tense. He'd throw me. I'd get more tense, do more groundwork, and he'd buck me off again and more groundwork. That was not working. I went to multiple clinics with very famous clinicians. I went to an event with some more clinicians, and they were kind enough to listen to what was happening. And I described that I'd bring him into the round pen, and he would go to the fence and circle running and galloping. And they said, "Well, don't let him get away with it. Stop him. Turn him around." So I tried that. That made him more tense. And so things were just going downhill, folks. Finally, I saw a YouTube video from Warwick Schiller called 10-Year-Old Girl Training. And in that video, Warwick talks about how he was almost thrown from a horse that a 10-year-old girl rode successfully in an obstacle event later on that same day. And I think this was at an event in New Zealand. He was talking about how important connection and relationship are. So that made me think about the connection and relationship I didn't have with this horse. And I thought of the horses I had when I was a kid. And they pulled me out of some scrapes, stuck with me when they shouldn't have, and had a great relationship. Not because I was a skilled horseman. I wasn't. I was a kid. I was 10 years old too. And so soon after that, I brought Mason into the round pen, and I just sat on the mounting block behind Mason. Didn't do anything. Mason started walking to the rail to buck some more, and he looked back at me, and he stopped. And over about 5 minutes, he walked back over to me, stood in front of me, and just dropped his head and sighed, and just stood there motionless, eyes half closed, and didn't graze. There's grass here on the ground, and he didn't graze. He didn't move off. He just stood there with me. Before this event, a couple weeks before, I'd been leading Mason across the pasture. He tried to pull away from me, and that kind of typified our relationship. And since that time, when I've ridden him, I can get off at the pasture gate and walk back from the pasture gate, and he'll walk with me without the bridle on. That would never have happened before that moment. So he's a nibbler, and so that's one of his habits that is not perfect. But that was a turning point, folks, and it amazed me that there could be that one turning point that would change our relationship, but it did. So I think a relationship is something you need to work on, and it's part of how you the kind of performance you'll get from your horse. It certainly affects how whether the horse will come to you when the horse is troubled. So I hope that you have a great relationship with your horse. And if you don't, then maybe it's something that we can work on together, trade ideas, and make it better. So again, my name is Paul Sherland. Thank you very much, folks.